Yes, Yanni and Tim, know what's amazing about this storm? Last year, through the entire winter, we did not get 27 inches of snow. We got it in one day with this one, the all-time record, 27 inches of snow for a 24-hour period. The old record was 21.3 inches of snow. All right, here's some snow amounts. Look at 27 inches of snow officially at the airport. All-time record. Doylestown, 20 inches of snow. Bordentown, New Jersey, 24, 2 feet in Morristown as well. And the list goes on. Swedesboro, New Jersey, 2 feet. Cherry Hill, 22. Millville, 15. Hockessin, Delaware, 19 inches. That's located just west of Wilmington, Delaware. This has been one major snowstorm, and it continues. It will add up more during the overnight period. Look at the radar as snow bands continue to move in our direction. You may step outside a little bit now, look out your window and say, hey, looks like it stopped a little bit, maybe a little sleet, but to the south and west, D.C., it's snowing heavy once again, and snow bands will be moving in overnight and through tomorrow morning. So the snow is not over, and the pounding continues down the shore. Coastal flood warning for tonight and again tomorrow morning. High tide took place at 8:45, a couple of hours after that in the back bays, 9:51. Tomorrow morning, Cape May, 8:45 tomorrow morning, I should say. And at those times, we're anticipating severe flooding. Tides running up to 6 feet above normal, not since the 1991 storm of Halloween. Are we going to get as bad as we did then, and we're going to get hit one more time down this way? There's one little saving grace. If the storm moves a little bit quicker, instead of getting the very strong easterly winds, northeast winds, which have been gusting to 55 miles per hour, if it moves up a little bit quicker, the winds will veer a little bit more to a northerly direction, and that would alleviate a major blow down the shore tomorrow morning. But right now, that's a little bit iffy, and we'll keep you posted on that during the wee hours of the morning. I'll have more details a little bit later on in this broadcast. Tim and Ciani.
All right. Thank you very much, John. And we should mention that all state offices are closed tomorrow in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Only essential personnel should report to work. The city of Philadelphia is also closed. So what's it been like in the city tonight? We go now to News 10's Mike Strug, who is live on City Line Avenue for more on that. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Ciani. We just got back from Center City, and it appears that PennDOT may finally be making some progress in its battle against the blizzard of '96. But while Center City streets are surprisingly clear right now, it's unlikely you could get from here to there. Officials report it's a constant battle against additional accumulation, drifting snow, and abandoned cars that block the plows. Ever wonder what they do with all the snow they pick up off the streets?
We're hauling snow out of the city.
Where are you putting it?
Taking it down to the river, dumping it in the river. With the rest of the water.
Al and his friends aren't the only ones working on cleanup duty. You cleared all this pavement.
That's our job.
This is it.
That's our job.
This is the result.
It's our job that when the tenants come into the building, they stamp their feet on our payment.
And while most of us may be cursing the region's worst snowstorm in history, others see it as a golden opportunity.
Making the big bucks tonight.
Trying. Big snow, big bucks.
And finally, you'd figure a cross-country skier would be in snow bunny heaven, but it turns out there's good snow and bad snow. And this snow, he said, wasn't slippery enough for skiing. You can't ski in it, you can't drive in it, can't even make a snowball with it. This is not a winter wonderland. Live in Bala, I'm Mike Strug, News 10.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. We want to check on the conditions in South Jersey. The blizzard has apparently brought things to a virtual standstill in that area. The snow-covered streets of Cherry Hill, Camden County this evening with a lack of moving cars, but plenty of huge snowplow trains keeping the main roads open, but only a handful are braving the blizzard.
I've had about 6 people come in so far. That's about it. Not doing too much here. I don't know why they just don't close.
And that gentleman there apparently talking about the business in the area being hurt. Most businesses have closed because people simply cannot get to them, even if they did want to venture out. And as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, New Jersey has declared a state of emergency. New Jersey Governor Christie Whitman wants everyone, she says, to use their heads and stay at home tonight.
The emergency order keeping people off the road is only for tonight. We are going to reassess early in the morning to see whether, in fact, we extend the emergency order to close businesses tomorrow. I hope that's not necessary. I'd rather not do that in a mandatory fashion, but have businesses use their common sense as they take a look around and see what the roads are like.
Governor Whitman has already closed state government at least through tomorrow. Tim.
And down the Jersey Shore, the concern is now turning from snow to water. A coastal flood warning is in effect down the shore at this hour. We turn now to News 10 New Jersey correspondent Terry Ruggles, who is live tonight in Ventnor. Terry.
Tim, a little hard to stand up down here. The wind is gusting. Take a look at this fir tree behind me on the other side of the street by the one-way sign there. The thing that is really impressive, however, that I'd like you to notice, take a look at the water in the street. This water wasn't there when we got here, and that water is part of the bay. That's right, we're on the bay side, and this is the worry for people up and down the shore. Back bay flooding, as John was talking about earlier. Now, tonight it's this bad. Tomorrow it's supposed to be worse. I talked to the Public Safety Director, the Emergency Preparedness Director for the City of Ventnor, and talked about his concerns with this. You're saying this is not as high as you expect it to get?
No, we're expecting worse than a 92 storm, which was roughly 9.5 feet. They're saying possibly a 10. That means major flooding here in town.
What will flood here?
Most of Ventnor Heights, the areas along the bay, a good portion of the city.
How many people will be surrounded by water?
We're anticipating, we're gearing up for a shelter for at least 200 people if it gets that bad.
Now, that is just Ventnor. Ventnor has set up the St. James Memorial Hall for emergency preparedness. That doesn't open until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. In Margate, the Union Avenue School will be open. In Atlantic City, the Martin Luther King School, and so it goes up and down the coastline. John Bolaris's note about the wind is maybe changing is certainly good news down here if it does happen, because if these people have to be evacuated, it is not going to be fun at all with the cold and the wind and the water on the streets. Should happen, if it does happen tomorrow, about 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning. That's when it would be the highest here. We'll be standing by to see. Reporting live from Ventnor, I'm Terry Ruggles.
Okay, Terry, thank you very much. And from what we understand, there have already been a few evacuations down in that area. Now let's head out to Plymouth Meeting, Montgomery County. Let's find out what's going on out there. Our News 10's Sarah Schulte is in that area with the very latest on the conditions out there. Sarah, what can you tell us out there tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, Siani, if you haven't been out at all today, this is what you get to look forward to tomorrow in trying to dig out your car. But here in Plymouth Meeting, it doesn't matter what you're driving, whether it's a four-wheel drive or a tow truck, it's absolutely impossible to get around. Okay, so the next time we should all get one of these because snowmobiles were the only things moving faster than 10 miles an hour. Even snowplows and tow trucks were ready to pack it in and call it a night.
I've been working in this area around the turnpike for 22 years. It's the worst one.
This is it, huh?
This is it.
So only the desperate brave the elements. Bob Atkinson and his nephew walked up from their apartment building to the gas station to get a hot cup of joe.
You couldn't make coffee at home, huh?
I ran out of coffee packets.
Earlier today, whether it was coffee, a Sunday paper, or snacks for the Eagles game, people were out and about, but some not by choice. Charlotte Crutchfield was walking her bike back from work in Plymouth Meeting back home in Germantown.
You're okay, huh?
Yeah, I'm okay. I can't see that well, but that's the only problem.
Well, let's just hope that woman's face unthawed, and let's hope she doesn't have to come back here tomorrow on her bike, and she probably won't, because here pretty much everything will be closed tomorrow, including the mall. So if you have plans on going shopping, well, forget it. The only thing that is open around here is this gas station, as you can see behind me. They've been getting plenty of business from snow plows and also tow trucks. Live in Plymouth Meeting, I'm Sarah Schulte, News 10.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. State of Delaware.